Hello everyone and welcome back to another Evaluate Market video. My name is Jennifer and for today's feature spotlight, we're going to be going over our advanced live feature. Alright, so when you first go to our site, evaluate.market, you're going to click on this advanced feature up at the top. This is where we're going to be going over today. It's going to default to Clint Capella naturally, but there's not much price action going on with him, so we're actually going to switch players here. And you can type in any player you want here, and then you can see a list of all the moments they have and select from there. We are going to go with his S2 common assist, just because there's a bit of price action happening on that. So here we can see all the way to the right the latest 9 sales, and so this is in real time. So we might even see a new sale pop up here, and we can see how long ago it was, who bought what serial number from who for how much, and that's what we can see there. Then up here we see the last sale, when it exactly was down to the minute and second, and then of course there's a picture of which moment we're talking about here. And then next there's this chart guide which you can click to give you a better understanding on how to read this. Of course, we're going to go over it, but let's quickly read a couple of these things here. So first of all, it says each candle on the chart represents a 1-hour time interval. Hovering over each candle will display the data time along with open, high, low, close, and volume. So these are the candles here, and as you can see, as we hover over, the data here in blue is changing. And so open, high, low, close, and volume, that's what it's talking about there. Last sale, all values taken into account are the most recent floor sales, which are the bottom 75% of serial numbers. The high is going to represent the highest transaction price in that time interval. The low is going to represent the lowest transaction price in that time interval. The open is going to represent the first transaction price in that time interval. And the close is going to represent the last transaction price in that time interval. And we're going to kind of, show you how that is displayed on this chart here. And then the volume is the number of transactions in that time interval. And then the EMA 20 and the EMA 50, that's going to be the exponential moving average that places a greater weight on the last 20 time intervals and the last 50 time intervals. And those are these lines right here. So let's go over this. Let's, where can we see all this information? So let's just hover over, one of them that's a little more interesting here. And by the way, you can really, get the data from far back as well. You can zoom out here, but it's kind of easier to see things if you zoom in. And so let's just click on this one right here. Let's go over this one right here. So this one, as we can see, it says that it opened at $83, meaning that the first transaction in this hour-long time interval was $83, okay? But that wasn't necessarily the highest. So this is going to be the candle and this is going to be the wick. The wick is indicating, the highest and the lowest. If it goes outside the candle. If it goes outside where it opened and closed at, it's going to produce a wick. And so here we see the wick goes all the way up to $90, which is the highest transaction during this time interval. And then we can also see the lowest the wick dips to is going to be $79. The reason why this candle is red is because we opened here with the first transaction being $83, and then we closed with the last transaction being $80. So it went down, right? The first transaction was more than the last transaction during this time interval. Therefore, the price went down, right? So then it's red. But it'll be green if the price went up. For example, we opened with the first transaction being $80 on this time interval, and closing, it closed at $85. So the last transaction on this time interval was $85. So it went up. The price went up. Therefore, it is green. Now, if we look at another one like this one right here, where it's literally, I'm just going to zoom in. It's literally just a dash. That means all the numbers were the same. So the first transaction, the last transaction, the highest transaction, and the lowest transaction was all the same dollar amount during this time interval, during this 1-hour time interval. So therefore, it just looks like that. And by the way, this down here is the volume. This is going to show the volume. It's, the information is displayed here, but as far as visually, where is the volume displayed? It's displayed down here, down at the bottom. And so, okay, during this time interval, wow, there was 92 sales. And so you can see, when, during the different time intervals, how many transactions there were. And, sometimes there's zero. So for example, this one, there was zero. So what it's going to default to was the previous closing amount. So the closing for the one prior was $85. So that was the last transaction during this time interval. So it's just kind of gonna default that information, even though there was no sales during this time interval. All right, so that is an overview of our advanced live feature. We may bring somebody on to do technical analysis and further analyze, how we can use this information to make better buying and selling decisions. But stay tuned for that part 2. If you have any additional questions, feel free to ask in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.